Hello lovelies, and welcome back to another beautiful tutorial. In this video we'll be making this lovely gown and these t-shirts that you can see with buttons for a baby. If you're interested in learning how I made this, kindly keep on watching and do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you're yet to do so. This was my inspiration and this is my recreation. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this style, if you'll be trying it out. Even if this is your first time of sewing, this tutorial is very detailed. You definitely make one for yourself after watching this. So guys, without further ado, let's dive into the video. So the items needed are buttons, your elastic. This is a 1/2 inch elastic, and I also have this vintage fabric, okay, and I have this net 1 yard. I have this bridal satin 1 yard. So I'll be using a measurement that will accommodate the baby's body, okay, because I will not be adding zipper to this gown. So I have both my front and back piece together, as you can see. So I'm cutting them together. Like I said, I'm not attaching a zipper. You can choose to add a zipper if you want to. So I'm going to fold it into two like this, okay, and then unfold. What I have is 8 inches, okay, for the width, and then the length is 8 inches. It's 7.5, and then I added 1/2 inch, which made it 8 inches. So what I am going to do is to take the neck width of 3 inches like this, and then I'm going to take an armhole of 2.5 inches, and I'll connect this into a straight line. Then for the chest measurement, okay, like I said, I'm making it very free, so I'm going to use 7 inches. So go ahead and mark your own baby's body measurement, and then on the bottom part I use 6.5 inches, and I connected it like this, and then I drew out the armhole just like so. So down here I just went up by 1/2 inch. This is optional, and then I connected it like this, and I'm just going to just cut this out. So this is what I have. As you can see, this is what it is looking like. So I'll fold this top part like this, okay. I'll fold it because I'm not using a lining for this, okay. So I'll fold the top part, and then I cut out this other piece that I'll use to turn the armhole. So what I have here is the length of 13 inches, and then the width is 2 inches. So now I lost the clip, but I'm going to explain it again. So I've done one side. What I did was to place it right side facing right side. Do not start from the top part, start from this side, okay. Place it like this. Let me bring my pin. Just place it like this from this side all the way to the top part. You stitch just by 1/2 inch all the way to the top part, which is here, and then you also now flip it over, flip this other piece, and then place it from that side again and stitch all the way. This is what I have, as you can see. After doing that, go ahead and fold it like this, like in the form of a bias. You just fold it all the way and stitch it down, okay. You're folding it twice, so make sure that it is neat at the front side as well, okay. So this is what I have after I was done stitching. This is the back looking so neat, and this is the front looking neat as well. So what I am going to do now is to bring the piece for the down part, and this is it. So what I have here is 2 for the 2 sides, back and front, and for the measurement, what I have for the down part is 11 inches. So I'll just measure this for you to see. Okay, so I said 11 inches because I added 1 inch to that, making 12. So I'll be folding that 1 inch inside, okay. So and the length is 36 inches. So I'll fold it like this first. Can you see? After folding, I'll fold the two piece, okay, so that it will be neat at the bottom part. And this is also the net that will be placing on top of it. So for the net, what I have is 13 inches for the length. The net should be longer than the satin, that is the main fabric itself. So after I must have fold the bottom part of the fabric of the main fabric, I'll place the net on it like this, okay. And then when I place it, I am going to align it and run a gathered stitch at the top part, okay. That is to say, I'll gather it. And this is what I have after I was done. You can see that my net is longer than the main piece. I'll keep that aside and bring the upper part. Now what we need to do is to place it right side facing right side like this, okay. So just ensure that you adjust it so that it aligns with the upper part. So you can see me adjusting mine, okay. So you just have to gather it in a way that it will accommodate the upper bodies. So after doing that, all I'm going to do is to place it right side facing right side like this, and I'll just go ahead and stitch it down. And I'm going to also repeat the same thing for this other side. And this is what I have after I was done. Can you see how beautiful this is looking like? Now I'll flip it over, and to stitch the side, what I'm going to do is I'll first of all stitch just the net, okay. I'll push in the main fabric and I'm going to just stitch the side of the net. After doing that, I'm going to now place it like so and stitch just the main piece, and I'll push the net inward, and then I'm going to stitch the main piece from the top part down to the bottom part. And this is what I have after I was done. The gown part for this tutorial is ready, and this is the flower that I made, so I'll just go ahead and attach it like this. Now for the upper part, because of the nature of the fabric, the chalk is not showing. I'll draft on a pattern paper. So for the length of the top, I want it to be 13 inches, and I just marked 13 inches. And then for the neck width, it is a very free top, okay. So I'm going to use 4.5 inches. That is for the shoulder, sorry. So for the shoulder I used 4.5, and then for the armhole I used 5 inches. So for the chest I used 7, and that's what I marked, and I used the same 7 for the waist as well, and I connected it like so. And I'm going to, for the neck width I use 2.5, and then for the back neck depth I'm going to use 1 inch, okay. That is for the back. I'm going to use 1 inch, and I'll just connect it like this. And then for the front neck depth I used 2.5 inches, and I connected it like this. So I just labeled it as back and front, and this is the armhole. So I'll proceed to cut this out. We'll use this pattern paper to cut both the front and the back, okay. So just watch what I will be doing and how I will cut it out. So this is the back. We'll be cutting the back first. I just placed it on the fabric, and I am going to trace out everything that I have here, okay. So you cut out the back neckline first. So now this is what the back is looking like. So for the front, I'm going to add 2 inches extra from this side because of the button, okay. So you can see me measuring it. So I added 2 inches extra, and I proceeded to cut it out. So I'm going to cut the front neckline as well, just the way you see me doing, okay. So ensure you add 2 inches in front because the front has buttons. So I am going to split it into 2, and this is what I have for the front piece. So what I will do first is to fold in this twice like this for the where the buttons will stay. Fold it twice and stitch it down. I'll repeat the same thing for this piece. After doing that, I'm going to now place it. After I must have folded it, right, I'll place it, and then I'll join it by the shoulder, okay. So you just place it like this and just join it by the shoulder using 1/2 inch. All right, now we'll cut out the sleeve. So for the sleeve length, I want it to be 13 inches, and I marked 13 inches. And what I'm going to do is to just cut out this excess pattern paper. So now from this side, okay, so from this side here, I'm going to mark 5 inches like this, and then from this side I'm going to mark 9 inches. So I'll connect the 9 inches to meet the 5 inches like this. After doing that, I'll just go ahead and curve out the sleeve. So just go ahead and curve out your sleeve. You can see how I curved mine. So just go ahead and cover out your sleeve, and this is what I have for the sleeve. So I'll just cut this out. Okay, so this is what I have for the sleeve, and I have cut it out on my fabric. It is unfold, as you can see. Okay, you can see how I placed it and cut it out, and when you open it, this is what I have. So what I'm going to do for the sleeve is I cut out this elastic of 6 inches, but before I place it, I'll just measure 2.5 inches upward like this. You can see the fabric, the chalk is not showing at all. Okay, so what I marked here is 2.5 inches, and I'm going to place this elastic of 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to place it on that line like this and be stitching on it. I'll be pulling the elastic as I'm stitching. After that, I'll run a gather stitch at this top part. Do not forget to hem the bottom part of your sleeve. Okay, so this is the button area. I have stitched it and joined it by the shoulder, and this is what it is looking like. Now I'm going to bring the sleeve, and this is the sleeve. So you can see the gathers that I ran here. So this is what it is looking like, and this is the elastic part, as you can see. So what I am going to do is to place it on the shirt. Okay, so before I place it, I am going to notch it. Okay, so you can actually notch this before you even run your gathers. So I've notched it to get the midpoint, and I'll place it right side facing right side, and I will just demonstrate what I'll be doing. So after placing it like this, okay, can you see, I'm going to now pin this down. So I'm going to just stitch from here to this side like so, just the normal way you attach your sleeve to your dresses. Can you see what I have? Okay, and I'm going to now stitch this other side as well. Okay, so after doing that, I will now flip it like so, and then I'm going to stitch from the sleeve down to the bottom part of the dress, okay, using 1/2 inch. So you can see that I hem the bottom part of my sleeve. Okay, do not forget to do that. So after doing that, I'll stitch from here all the way down, and then I'll hem the bottom part of this shirt. And this is what I have when I am done. This is how beautiful it is looking like, guys. I don't know if you can see this. It's looking so neat and beautiful. Now we'll work on the collar. For the collar, you measure the neck width, okay, and what I have here is 8.5 inches. Mine is quite big, okay, yours might be smaller, okay, or wider. So what I have is 8.5. So I'll use this pattern paper to do that. So I want the width of my collar to be 5 inches, and that is what I marked here. So I'll draw it into a straight line, and then you know, we measured 8.5. So what I'm going to mark here is 9 inches. So basically I am adding 1/2 inch to that, okay, to that 8.5 inches. So I'll mark 9 inches, and this is the 9 inches. So I'll come to this other side. I'm just cross-checking to be sure. So I'll come to this side, and I'm going to mark 10 inches. And this is 10 inches. Connect it to meet the 9 inches like this, and then I'll cut it out. So that's basically it for the cutting of the collar. So after cutting it out, I've cut it out of my fabric, and you can see that it is unfold, right? So this part is the 10 inches part, and the 9 inches part is the one that is opened. I hope you understand. And this is what I have. So now fold this collar into two like this, and I am going to stitch the side. So you first of all fold this inwards by ½ inch, just one part, and then you stitch it down. So fold it inwards by ½ inch and stitch it down. Okay, so after doing that, I'll bring it out to the right side, and this is what I have. Okay, you can see that one side is longer, okay, because we folded one inwards by ½ inch. So I'll bring back the main fabric and we'll be attaching it. So there are different ways you can actually cut out a collar and attach it. Okay, so I'm going to attach mine right side facing right side. The part where I did not fold is the part that I am placing on the fabric. Okay, the collar that I did not fold, the side, that is why I placed. Okay, and I'll stitch it right side facing right side like this. So after stitching, this is what I have. Now I am going to now stitch this other side, that ½ inch that I folded inwards, okay, to just help it align perfectly. So I'll stitch it all the way down. So this is what I have. I also attached my buttons, and this is what the top is looking like. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I probably hope I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.